Hey guys, it's Ginny, VS Ginny, and this is my 2-year Surgiversary video. Woo! um, I actually was debating whether or not to even make one. I kind of thought that what I have to say might be boring because I'm not so hardcore focused on weight loss, not focused on weight loss at all at the moment since I'm pregnant. And so I thought that might make things less interesting. But I decided, part of these videos, part of something that Liz said to me early on was that she appreciated when people continue to make videos way far out from their surgeries. It's sad that 2 years is way far out, but it is in the community. Because she got to see what it was like further down the road, because everybody, well, almost everybody, is super dedicated and super hardcore up front, but then you kind of trail off and maybe lose focus over time. And I'm not just talking about your videos, but with your journey as well. And everyday life gets in the way, and so there just aren't that many people that continue to make videos, and I fully admit that I'm one of them. I've been a complete slacker over the last several months. I've not made a lot of videos, and I'm sorry for that, but I just haven't had a lot to say, honestly. But I thought I'd give you a snapshot, just a glimpse in time. I'm 2 years post-op. My high weight, and if you've watched my other videos, you've heard this a million times, so apologies. My high weight was 272 kilos, 600 pounds. My low weight was 104 or 103 kilos. I can't remember now. That's how not on top of this I've been lately. About 229 pounds. And my current weight at 6 months pregnant is 249 pounds, or about 113 kilos. My surgeon's goal weight for me was 250 pounds, 113 kilos. My OB is really happy with where my weight is at. She's not concerned about it. She's not concerned about the gain that I've had. It's pretty moderate as far as things go. And a lot of it was in the first trimester due to the fact that I simply could not keep anything but carbs down. Like, I just could not eat protein to save my life. So it was all protein shakes and carbs all the time. And that really affected my weight. But since I've been able to start eating more protein, and that's still not perfect. It still makes me sick. Solid protein will still make me sick about 70% of the time right now, depending on what kind of protein it is. It's a gamble. So it, what was I saying? Baby brain is real, people. Anyway, yeah, it was protein was really making me sick in the first trimester, and so I was really struggling. And but I'm better off now, so that's good. That's very good. And so that's what I was saying. So I've been able to mostly keep my weight. It's been up and down and up and down, and that's totally fine. As long as I'm staying in a fair enough range, which I am. So, let's see, what else? What am I eating right now? That's something I would have covered if, pretty thoroughly, to try to give you a snapshot of that might be useful, except that, as I'm just talking about, protein still makes me sick, so don't follow my example. Like I said, I am eating more carbs, A, because protein is hard for me, and B, because I'm pregnant, and my OB has said more carbs. She's said it doesn't need to be a lot more carbs. And my maternal fetal medicine specialist has actually emphasized that I don't have to feel like I have to eat a ton of carbs. So that's been really good, but I am incorporating more, and as I said, I think in my last video, that makes it hard. The carbs being back in my diet bring the cravings back as well. And I'm I'm told that some of those cravings are hormonal as well, that it's pretty normal to have cravings during pregnancy or something. um, but I try not to give into it too often, but I also don't, I'm also not too hard on myself. I do give in now and then, and that's okay, you know. I do plan to get back on track with the carbs and everything else. Like, I, even though I'm not super focused on weight loss, since I've already hit my goal, I still feel better and healthier when I eat fewer carbs, when I'm eating mostly veggies and protein. So I intend to go back to that when I'm like definitely after the baby is born, maybe after breastfeeding. I don't know what the OB's recommendations are going to be for my diet when I'm breastfeeding, so it could be quite a while before I get to do that, unfortunately, which means a longer battle with carbs, but that's okay. I'll get through it. It'll all be worth it. Um, let's see, what else? So that's really all that I'm struggling with diet-wise right now. And exercise-wise, I've been more active. It's hard when your center of balance changes so drastically. I'll show you guys as much of the baby bump as you can see at the end here. I'll put up a photo. Because of all the weight that I've lost, there is a there's only a certain amount that you can see because of the excess skin. The way that my excess skin hangs on my stomach, it kind of blocks you from seeing very much of the baby bump. So, sorry. It may not be as exciting as you expect for 6 months, but it is what it is. There's a baby in there, and my husband and I are very happy about that. So, happy, healthy baby so far. Fingers crossed. Let's see, what else? Oh, something Nirvana had asked in her most recent video, and she tagged me when she posted it, was where do you think you would be today if it weren't for your weight loss surgery? And she just posted it a couple days ago, and I thought, that's great timing. I can talk about that in my Surgiversary video. I don't know where I'd be. I would probably be living in the same place, perhaps not in the same job that I have going at the moment. I'm not sure where my career would be because I do think it's harder to find jobs when you're 272 kilos, 600 pounds. I'm not saying that these particular employers that I've been working with are at all, like, would at all have any issue with it. In fact, I think the ones I've been working with lately have been more accommodating than most, and I really appreciated that about them. But not every employer is, and when you're job searching, that can make it hard. So I don't know where I'd be career-wise. I don't know where I'd be health-wise. I wasn't having high cholesterol or blood sugar or blood pressure problems. I don't know how long that would have been true if I would have eventually ended up with those issues. Can't say for sure. But I do believe a lot more of that is hereditary and genetic than people really give it credit for. But because somebody who was the weight that I was for as long as I was, if it is a cause and effect, like, why didn't that ever happen to me? I don't know. But I do believe that the hospitalizations I was enduring for cellulitis, due to the autoimmune disease that I have, I do think that those would have continued. I haven't had any flare-ups of it since I had surgery, since I had weight loss surgery. I've had no flare-ups of my autoimmune disease, even though that's not supposed to be affected by weight. So I don't know. I've had no cellulitis issues. I haven't had to be hospitalized. And that's the first time in a while that hasn't been something that I've had to experience. So it's been really nice to have a couple of years off from that. And I do worry that if I had kept being hospitalized for that, I mean, every time you're in the hospital, you're not going to be there unless your life's in danger. Like, you're not going to be admitted unless your life is in danger somehow, right? So every time you're in there is a risk to start with, and then add to that the potential for transmitted infections and what have you. And being in the hospital is not a life. It's not a life that I wanted, and it's not a safe life, you know? And I don't know how many times I could have been hospitalized and come through okay. It scared me. And so I'm very grateful that that's not a part of my life anymore. Just everyday things, right? Everyday things that I can do, like not take seating for granted, like when I go to restaurants, like I don't have to call ahead and see what the seating is like. I can meet friends at a concert or a festival. I can do any number of things like that I couldn't do before. I still felt I had a full life before, though. So I don't want to discount that. But so I really don't know where I would be. I'm just really grateful to be where I am now, doing what I am now, growing what I am now. And it's pretty magical life at the moment. I'm very grateful for all I can do, all the places I can go, and very aware of my privilege, if that makes sense. And while I'm grateful for a lot of the privilege that I have now, I'm also constantly aware that it is privilege. You know, there's an entire category of people out there living their lives who have trouble getting jobs, who are discriminated against when they do get a job. They don't get paid the same. They aren't treated the same. They don't get promotions in the same way. They can't attend certain events because there's not adequate seating provided. They can't I almost couldn't go to a show at the Opera House one time because they had sold out of their wheelchair tickets, and the only place that I could sit was a chair, an armless chair placed in one of the wheelchair spots because I couldn't fit into the little seats that they have there, you know. And it's just not something. Matters of size are not something that most people think about, and I wish that it were. I do get treated differently, and while I'm glad, I guess, to be treated more positively by people, to be given the benefit of the doubt by people, to not be watched as closely when I'm eating, to not be stared at in public by strangers to the degree that I was, to not have children stop in their path and point at me and say, "Mom," you know, like tug on their mom's skirts and like make their mom stop and like look at the fat lady, you know? Like, why why should it be me that suddenly doesn't have to deal with that? Like, it should be nobody that has to deal with that at any size, regardless of their size. It's complete BS that we don't think on a more regular basis about accessibility in general, accessibility for events, accessibility for fairs, for concerts, for festivals. I can't tell you the number of times I wanted to go to something, and like a festival with my family. There was a festival that my family was all going to one year, and I acted like I wasn't interested in going because I knew I could not do the walking for it. And the fact is, I wanted to go very much. And could I have taken a folding chair with me? Sure, but that would have been very heavy to carry around a festival for hours and hours, and that wouldn't have really been practical. And I'm happy that I can do these things, but I also think that there needs to be a better solution to make all of these kinds of things more accessible for more body types, more types of people. And I think that there needs to be more awareness of that. At restaurants, at doctors' offices. Oh, and doctors listen to me more, which also I'm grateful for, but also pissed off about. um, because now I still have things blamed on my weight, even at this weight, um, but not to the degree that I did before. Like, doctors will actually look for a cause sometimes rather than going straight to my weight, which is refreshing for me, but really irritating, that suddenly I'm more of a human being, you know? I'm the same person I always was. I am the same person with the same flaws, the same brain, and it really irritates me that suddenly I get treated so much better. And sorry for the rant, but it does really hit home. The more average size body you have, the more it hits home just how poorly people who have above average body sizes get treated. So anyway, uh, what else? Anyway, I think that's enough rambling. If you guys have any questions for me, post them below. And I want to say a big thank you um, to Finding Elizabeth, who is the person who sort of, got me started on this journey. She's the person who I said, hey, I heard you had weight loss surgery. I'm not sure, but I think it might be something I want to do. Am I crazy? And she's kind of the person that got me pointed in the right direction of the YouTube community, helped me find support. And I don't think that I'd be where I am today if she hadn't. And I also want to thank my friend Donnie, who's not really a YouTuber, but her blog also really helped me see a lot of the different sides of weight loss surgery and what it would be like. And a lot of what I've gone through and wondered if that's normal, I've known is normal because of these two ladies. And obviously I want to say thank you to Experiencing Nirvana. One of my best friends, she basically is very brutally open and honest about her struggle with eating. And I think that's something this community could use a lot more of, to be honest with you. I think a lot of disordered eating still happens after weight loss surgery because you have to deal with the eating disorder that you have, presuming you have one. We don't all have one, but I think a lot of us do. If you don't deal with the head stuff, the rest of the body isn't going to follow. And I think a lot of us have a hard time kind of voicing our food addiction, talking about it, for those of us who have one. And I definitely have one, and carbs, letting carbs back in has definitely brought the monster back out. And it's been rough, you guys. It's been rough. But I have some mini muffin wrappers in the trash. They can attest to that. But you really, I just think that Nirvana's honesty is really refreshing and really important, and I hope it rubs off on some more of us. So I know a lot of that stuff's hard to talk about. And who else? See, I don't watch enough YouTube videos anymore. Sleeve McQueen is someone who also inspired me when I was early on. She and I had surgery about the same time, I think. So I think yours was slightly before mine, so happy belated surgiversary. I just really like her personality. I always have. I sort of wanted to be her. Like, I really wish that we lived in the same city when I first had surgery, because I so wanted to just go sit at her house and talk to her and, get to know her, be her friend. CCVSG, another person whose videos I've just really enjoyed over the last couple of years. Lindsay Fly is amazing when you need an injection of workout inspiration, and I know she's had struggles here and there, and I love that she's been open about some of them, at least. um, and I really enjoy watching her videos. She's really funny as well. Who else? Amy gets a VSG now. Amy gets a 360. Like, I I am sending so much love to her. She's going through some things as well, and I just uh, I've found her to be so supportive and such a lovely person, just in general. And I've loved seeing her transformation and her various progress from her surgeries. And who else? I can't forget Rachel. She came along later in my weight loss journey. I'd already lost quite a bit, but she's another person that I just find immensely entertaining. And why is entertaining important? Well, you're more likely to watch somebody's videos, and if they're entertaining. So I definitely enjoy her videos a lot, and she and I have become friends, and yeah, she and her husband are amazing people. And who else? There was somebody that I really wanted to mention. Beautiful Alicia. She she's I think 3 years out. Am I wrong? Am I right? Anyway, she struggles as well. She's struggling right now, and she's very open and honest about all her struggles. And I'm sorry you've been in pain, sweetie, and I really hope that you get some relief for that soon. My friend Jen from New Zealand that I met once when she was here visiting her old haunts here in Australia. She just makes me smile all the time. Who else? And then like a whole swath of people, some of whom are YouTubers and some aren't, who I have met um, here in Australia, and I'm really lucky to have them in my life. Susan, Megan, um, Sharon, Kathy, oh, and Gretchen. Can't forget Gretchen. There's so many people that I'm leaving out. I feel bad. See, this is why you don't start naming names, because then you leave people out. There's so many on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I couldn't have done this. I could not have made it through these 2 years relatively sane, relatively happy and healthy, if it had not been for you people. I mean, every time I sort of got down or needed a kick in the pants or needed to find some motivation, you guys were all here. Do you know what I mean? And because of that, I kept going. And this community is such an incredible support. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you, a genuine thank you from my heart. I love you guys. And as usual, if you have questions or comments, drop them below because I love them. All right, talk to you soon.